hit play over here. Right? business that I started, because I already had connections with Synchronized Chaos, so it's free to be in Synchronized Chaos to get published and to read it, but then I wanted to be able to earn a living off of art somehow, and so I started this business that was a social enterprise, where we said, okay, in return for publicity outside of Synchronized
Wow, that's weird. I think I kind of had almost the same hairstyle, that one from 2010, that I do now. But who cares? Nonetheless, it's a new Planet Glee intro, and because we're way beyond 100 shows, and I want to make as many intros as I can and take as many screenshots as I can so that we have a history. And because I think that's one thing in this country. Oh, bonjour, bonsoir. Esta noche está bien, pero every time I have the show, I feel that I have to remind everyone that people are still getting killed by the police and, of course, by other people. Why do I say of course? I don't know. Why am I saying of course? And why am I saying of course they're getting killed by the police? I don't accept it personally, but I don't hear anything more about Ferguson. I was happy to see that Democracy Now! Had the young man who was in solitary confinement for so long that he really couldn't handle. And I don't even want to use that word. It was more like death was better than being in this society. So let's have I have some more plans for Planet Glee on how to address this issue rather than me just spouting off, okay? So, but I just want you to know that Planet Glee does not forget. And back in 2009, was Troy Gardner on the BART
Oscar Grant?
station?
That guy?
Arthur Grant.
Oscar Grant.
Yeah, Oscar Grant. Yeah, back in 2009, a guy from Brazil who knew the family came on the show on Planet Glee, and so I have to find that in the videos too, because Fruitvale Station is a very powerful film, and if you haven't seen it, go see it. Alrighty, and now it's time to move on to the present moment. We're in the present moment here on Planet Glee with our esteemed guest, who is not that person. Where are you, Christina? There! Christina Datula.
Yes, hello. Thank you, Jennifer, for hosting. Very glad to be able to appear on Planet Glee again. And I was on Planet Glee back last September talking about Synchronized Chaos Magazine, which is an international nonprofit publication I helped to start with a group of friends and colleagues. So we're an online literary and cultural and art magazine. We take all kinds of submissions every month and then determine a theme based upon everything that we've received. And so we've just put out another monthly issue for July. So we're still putting out issues. We've been going ever since the summer of 2008, and so now it's 2015. We're still going strong. We're aiming for at least 25 years, and it's just really a team effort, a collaboration. And I've also been looking around me, looking at Ferguson and at brutality and inhumanity, as Jennifer just mentioned, and a variety of issues going on in the world with our environment, our planet, just war and poverty and just other people trying to get along, in the city and around the world. And sometimes I think, so many people are starving in the world. Do we need another literary and cultural magazine? But then people continue submitting, including people who are homeless, who are incarcerated. And I think, if those people feel the need for this, then, certainly we can keep going. We're serving a real need if we continue to get submissions. So I've been working on that, and our latest issue is called Back to the Drawing Board. That's live at syncchaos.com, www.synchchaos.com.
Is it this one?
Yes. Feel free to take a look. It's available online.
It says Synchronized Chaos, July 2015. Back to the drawing board.
Yes, that's our theme.
Oh, okay.
And occasionally we get fewer submissions in the summer. That's because people go out of town, which is great. But the crew that we have helping to put together this issue was very strong, and I'm very happy and very proud of all the submissions.
Oh, that's great. That's cool. But you also have another literary website as well?
Oh, yes, I do, as a matter of fact. And that was something that I thought about, again, together with another group of friends and colleagues. I was thinking, okay, there are real issues in the world, with poverty and hunger and homelessness and the environment. And it's great that we have this literary magazine, but I wanted to go step a little bit farther in terms of addressing some of those issues. And so I thought about the whole literary world, how in a lot of ways it's very hierarchical. People are all about having to go and schmooze with all the right people to find an agent. And there are, the people on the top and then all kinds of starving artists on the bottom. And people, use a lot of paper. There's a lot of waste and just a lot of traditional models within the industry. So I was trying to think of what can we do as a group together with some of the people with Synchronized Chaos Magazine and some other friends to be able to bring some new life into the literary industry in terms of being able to help others, in terms of being able to make a more green business model, in terms of being able to open up new opportunities for representation and publicity for self-published or small press or just various kinds of authors, people here and around the world.
What is the name of it? Excuse me, Christina.
Okay. So I started actually a separate literary publicity company together with a team of about now 15 friends and colleagues called Authors Large and Small, taken from William Blake's All Creatures Great and Small.
Okay.
So that's authorslargeandsmall.wordpress.com. And Jennifer's pulling up the site. That's a publicity agency. We're a social enterprise in that we hire people with disabilities to work part-time from home, usually doing online research on their own schedules.
Oh, I like it.
And we're a green company. I encourage people to send out ebooks wherever possible to save paper, save money for the authors. All of our business cards are on recycled paper, and everybody telecommutes, so people don't have to, we don't have to have an office with a building and lights, and people don't have to be driving in. So we're trying to encourage the literary world basically to go green, to save paper, and we accept memoirists, poets, self-published authors, which not everybody accepts, and we focus on a lot of guerrilla publicity, social media, networking by writing to independent bloggers, authors reviewing each other. We have people on our own team who maintain their own book blogs so that people can get some reviews in the meantime on those blogs while we're pitching to the regular bloggers. We do the same things any publicity agency will do. We just take clients, which not everybody is able to work with, we take ordinary people who aren't famous yet.
Yeah.
And we provide opportunities for them basically by going out and having people on our own team do reviews themselves, by going out and finding ordinary people to do reviews, by having authors trade, by coaching authors about finding their audience over social media. A lot of people will make a Facebook or a social media page and wonder why nobody has found them yet. But we help people to really go out there and identify and target and communicate with their audience directly, going out and finding people online who would be interested in their work. So if you're not super famous, people may not come and find you. So we help you to go out and find your audience.
That's excellent. Have you ever tried boosting on Facebook?
I believe that we have. We're still looking into using a lot of formal tools. We do boosted posts sometimes.
I tried it for the first time this week.
Oh, how did that go?
Got 100 more likes.
Wow, well that is good.
That was really cool. But my thing is, I want to make sure that it's a little sum of money. In the beginning, they wanted to boost for $6 for a week. I remember this a few years ago, and at the time I had my whole thing in French, and so I read everything and I put all the countries I wanted and all the demographics, and then I got to the money part. I'm like, I better make sure I really understand this because, and that is the funky part about Facebook, but let's stick with your What it's called, Authors?
Yes, Authors Large and
Gotcha.
Small, which is a joke on William Blake's Creatures Great and Small. We didn't want to say Authors Great and Small because, in effect, we're telling some people they are not great, or suggesting that some authors are not great. However, large and small comes, it's just a slightly different word. So it's
Yeah.
kind of like it that there's room for everybody.
Right.
So, yeah, we work with all sorts of people, and we are able to have publicity work for up-and-coming authors, and that we focus on, getting people to review each other, working with smaller blogs, encouraging people to start blogs. Some of the people we hired to work from home, we encourage them to start blogs of their own and start reviewing our authors' work, and that way those people are able to practice writing and build a following and have that in their resume to help them to get a job when they're ready to re-enter the regular job market. And then we're able to get some publicity for authors in the meantime while we're pitching them to the more mainstream blogs. And then we go out and we do media interviews, but then we coach authors about interviewing each other and posting that on their websites too. And we have people conduct interviews, and then we will go out and look for podcasts, for example.
Right.
Somebody might not be on CNN right away, but they might be able to get on, for example, the Authors to Watch podcast or the Dan O'Brien blog or something where they have, maybe a university rather than, say, a national or a regional news. And a lot of it you can get on regional news, but it will just take longer and need to build up a following. Maybe you want to be in Barnes & Noble, which is an awesome goal. We certainly wouldn't want to discourage someone. But, we will start with your local bookstores. Maybe if you're out in the suburbs or something, your bookstore around the corner might be from your house, might be looking for an author to come in, and they would be ecstatic to have you, and then you can go there and bring in a few people, and then we can eventually step you up to where you have enough of a following to be able to build enough traffic to get into a Barnes & Noble.
I have 3 questions I want to ask you that I didn't ask you the last time. The first one is, does everybody have to write in English?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
We take people who write in all different sorts of languages. However, if you come with a book that is in a different language, it would be helpful if there were a translation available, because a lot of the bloggers read and write in English. It's sort of the unofficial language of the internet.
Okay.
And for example, if you come with a book in French or Swahili or whatever, then whoever is going to be reading and reviewing your book and interviewing you would need to be able to speak that language.
And what about you yourself? I've never asked you about your own literary prowess. Do you have things?
Oh, yes, I do. I have a whole collection of personal poetry I've written. Every so often, every year, I try to come up with at least a few new original pieces.
Great, because I'm planning to have a forum for poets. I can use the big studio down the hall.
Oh, great.
Yeah, and is it Saturday okay for you? That's usually...
Sure, with enough advance notice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't set up the date yet, but I'm getting the poets together, and so I definitely want you to
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
I would be glad to. And then we have a couple of other author clients we would love to be able to recommend. We work with poets. So we have some poets. We are an international company, but we can take the ones who live in the Bay Area or whoever would like their work read.
Another question I have is about synchronized chaos and possibly... it would seem to me that maybe... Who did the design, by the way, of this?
Oh, Author Sergeant Small was actually a former client, Brant Waldeck,
Oh, he did it?
Waldeck, who lives in North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
He has a line of children's books called The Adventures of Bruton and Tommy.
Oh, nice.
And we worked with him originally. He built our website in exchange for a serious discount back when we started in 2012.
I know you've been going that long, as you're doing great. What about synchronized chaos? Does it take video?
Yes, it does. We'll embed the videos.
You'll what?
We embed videos into the post. So yes, we have published video before.
Oh, good. That's really good, because I feel that a lot of people, who may not be able to read anymore, will listen.
Yes, and a marketing expert just said not too long ago, about a year or two ago, that videos are the most widely shared, propagated, and liked form of media on Facebook. I was surprised. I thought it would be pictures. I see pictures getting people's attention, but a video, I think, that would be slow. I can see a song that somebody would have in the background, but it just seems who would take the time to sit and watch a video, that it would just sort of slow you down. And I would think, oh, people are busy. How long do people spend on the net? Would they stop what they were doing and watch a video? But apparently people do, and so those are the most widely shared types of posts on Facebook.
I believe it. And of course on YouTube.
Yeah, well, obviously on YouTube, yes.
Yeah. So how can we get younger people to synchronize chaos? You know, maybe younger people who have not made it to college yet.
Oh, as in teenagers in high school?
Yeah. You think they wouldn't be ready? They'd have to...
Oh, we publish everybody. We publish all ages, and we published teenagers before we published children, as a matter of fact.
Oh, great.
Yeah. Got children and children's books. There's no age limit or age requirement on Synchronized Chaos. Anybody can. And if people are concerned about their kids with real names on the internet, everybody's free to use a pen name, and nobody asks or questions. That's not an issue either.
That's so cool. And so, on your website, that's where people would find how to submit. And we've only got, believe it or not, 6 seconds or something. So I'm going to say, where is me? Okay. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.
Bye. And Christina, where are you?
Bye-bye.
Oh, you have 1 minute, 1 second. You can still say goodbye, I think.
Bye-bye.
That went too fast.
I know, there's so much...
There you are. And it's literally at 6:22.
Okay, yeah, because that's what I was kind of trying to get across, because the biggest misunderstanding people have is people hear that Synchronized Chaos exists and then Authors Large and Small exists, and they think, oh, does that mean now we have to pay to get published in Sync Chaos? And I'm like, no, they're two separate companies. Or people say, oh, does that mean everything that is published in Sync Chaos has to do with your paying clients, and it's a free periodical for your clients? And so then should it, is it all going to be puff pieces about your clients now? I'm like, no, that's not true either. Yeah. And so I'm just trying to say, no, it's a free... I mean, we do have people who have interviewed our clients, but they're treated the same as any other contributor to Sync Chaos.
Parfait. Because actually, as it turns out, I can cut it right here. And what you just said will be on YouTube.
Okay.
So, once again... because the person who has their show on after me isn't at the door, so yeah, you'll accept. Sure. He's here now, but we'll say goodbye, and I'll put this up on YouTube.
Oh, okay. Goodbye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye. Have a good night.